Ina Garten is a renowned chef, beloved by millions for her home cooking expertise, engaging personality, and mouth-watering recipes. However, behind her cheerful and kind demeanor lies a lesser-known story filled with grief and challenges that have impacted her life. In this exploration, we delve beyond the polished image of the Barefoot Contessa to reveal the resilient, inspiring woman behind the brand. Ina Rosenberg, born in Brooklyn, New York, was the youngest of two children raised in a Jewish household by Russian immigrant grandparents. Her father, Charles H. Rosenberg, was an otologist, and her mother, Florence, was a dietitian. Reflecting on her childhood, Garten describes it as difficult, partly due to her father's expectations, which she felt pressured to meet, despite her desire for self-expression. Nevertheless, she excelled academically and developed a strong passion for science, which later influenced her culinary pursuits. Her mother, a lover of opera and an intellectual, steered her away from the kitchen and encouraged academic achievement. Garten has said she inherited her social adeptness from her father, acknowledging that she shares more personality traits with him than with her mother. Initially, her parents were skeptical about her culinary ambitions but gradually grew supportive. At 15, she met her future husband, Jeffrey Garten, while visiting her brother at Dartmouth College. After high school, she studied economics at Syracuse University and later attended George Washington University's Business School. She married Jeffrey on December 22, 1968, in Stamford, and they moved to Fort Bragg, North Carolina, during Jeffrey's military service in the Vietnam War. It was here that she developed a love for cooking and hosting, earning her pilot's license during this time as well. After Jeffrey's military service, they embarked on a 4-month European camping trip, where a visit to France ignited her passion for French cuisine. Inspired by the vibrant outdoor markets and fresh produce she encountered there, Garten returned to the US with a desire to create a business based on these experiences. Back home, Garten practiced her culinary skills with help from cookbooks by Simone Beck, Louisette Beryl, and Julia Child, hosting weekly dinner parties after she and Jeffrey settled in Washington, D.C., in 1972. She initially built her career outside the culinary world, working for the White House Office of Management and Budget as a budget analyst. In this role, she contributed to the nuclear energy budget and wrote policy papers for Presidents Gerald Ford and Jimmy Carter. In her free time, Garten continued to refine her cooking and hosting skills, investing in and renovating Queen Anne-style homes in DuPont Circle, the profits from which funded her next venture, the Barefoot Contessa, a boutique food store. In 1978, she left her government job and bought a small food shop named Barefoot Contessa in West Hampton Beach, New York. Though exciting, she soon realized it wasn't exactly what she envisioned. Over time, she recognized that her efforts to create more freedom for herself and Jeffrey led to a happier marriage, freeing them from traditional constraints. Garten relocated the store to New York, often working up to 12-hour days. The store's name, inspired by a 1954 Ava Gardner film, symbolized a blend of elegance and simplicity that resonated with Garten's approach. By 1985, she moved Barefoot Contessa to a larger space in East Hampton, expanding from 400 to over 3,000 square feet, which allowed her to offer a wider range of gourmet products like lobster salad, caviar, cheeses, and local produce. Barefoot Contessa soon gained a loyal following and attracted celebrity customers, including Steven Spielberg. In 1996, after 2 decades of running the store, she sold it to her employees but retained the property and set up an office above the shop. During her hiatus from the culinary industry, Garten focused on stock market research and new business ideas. The Barefoot Contessa website gained popularity as she began selling products online. In 2003, the store was featured in the film, Something's Gotta Give, but closed later that year due to lease complications, eventually becoming a rag-and-bone store by 2024. In 1999, Garten transitioned to writing and published The Barefoot Contessa Cookbook, which sold beyond expectations and needed reprinting when the initial 35,000 copies sold out. In 2001, she followed up with Barefoot Contessa Parties, which received critical acclaim, and Barefoot Contessa Family Style in 2002. Both cookbooks were nominated for James Beard Awards in the Entertaining and Special Occasions category. These nominations were surprising to many, given that Garten was relatively new to the culinary publishing scene, competing against established icons like Jack Pepin. Garten's cookbooks, filled with vibrant photos of each dish, became instant favorites, though some critics argued the emphasis on images left less room for detailed instructions. Yet, the visual appeal made her books widely popular. By 2023, Garten had produced 13 cookbooks with a combined sale of over 14 million copies. Her rich, flavorful recipes, though considered high in calories, earned her the affectionate title, Queen of Tastefully Used Butterfat, from The New Yorker. Despite her widespread success, Garten has faced criticism. In 2010, the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine included her cookbook Barefoot Contessa, How Easy Is That?, among the 5 worst cookbooks due to recipes they deemed high in fat and cholesterol. This sparked a debate on whether cookbook authors should encourage healthier eating habits. However, Eric Felton of The Wall Street Journal defended Garten, arguing that the criticism unfairly targeted indulgent cooking. Despite the discussions around health and indulgence, Garten's cookbooks continue to inspire home cooks with their attractive presentation and delicious recipes. Her influence has played a part in shaping the evolving dialogue around food, taste, and health. Ina Garten rose to greater fame through her widely recognized cookbooks and TV appearances. Her career reached new heights in 2002 when she launched her own show on the Food Network, a success that followed the publication of her cookbooks, Barefoot Contessa and Barefoot Contessa Parties. The network approached her with a cooking show offer, though a previous partnership in 2000 with Martha Stewart's production company didn't work out. Garten struggled with a large crew and rigid format, but she accepted a new offer from Pacific, a London-based company known for working with Nigella Lawson, as they provided a more relaxed setting and a smaller team. This led to the debut of Barefoot Contessa in 2002, featuring Garten alongside her husband, Jeffrey, and friends. The show quickly gained popularity, drawing about 1 million viewers per episode, boosting the Food Network's ratings, and even earning a Daytime Emmy nomination for Best Service Show in 2005. By 2009, Garten and her show received nominations for Best Culinary Program and Best Culinary Host, and Garten won her first Emmy. She signed a 3-year deal with the Food Network and committed to publishing 2 more cookbooks after Barefoot Contessa at Home, a contract said to be one of the most lucrative for any culinary author at the time. Despite offers to expand her brand with a magazine, furniture line, cookware, and boutique similar to Martha Stewart's empire, Garten chose a simpler approach. In her spare time, Garten authored Barefoot Contessa, Go to Dinners, which became a New York Times bestseller in 2023, selling approximately 800,000 copies in 2022. In 2022, she returned to television with Be My Guest, Discovery, and Food Network show where she hosts celebrities in her home. Earlier, in 2006, Garten collaborated with her partner, Frank Ubold, to launch the Barefoot Contessa Pantry, a line of pre-packaged food products developed with Stonewall Kitchen. Their aim was to make Garten's home-cooked recipes more accessible and convenient while preserving quality. The product line includes items like coconut cupcakes, maple oatmeal scones, mango chutney, and lemon curd, each designed to offer a home-cooked feel. The Barefoot Contessa Pantry products, while priced higher, such as the $10 brownie mix, were justified by their quality and positioned as premium items available at specialty shops like Crate and Barrel, Solar Table, and the Chicago Fox and Nobel Market. This venture widened Garten's product range while maintaining the ethos of her brand. Good food is simple, tasty, and achievable for even the busiest people. Garten's influence extended through her cookbooks, such as Barefoot in Paris, and her contributions to the Oprah magazine, where she provided tips on cooking, hosting, and party planning. Until 2011, she also wrote a popular column, Ask the Barefoot Contessa, in House Beautiful, where she shared lifestyle advice, furthering her reputation as an authority in home and hospitality. Garten also connected with her fans through a small collection of note cards and journals that reflected her cooking philosophy, emphasizing the joy of sharing recipes and making memories with loved ones. This product line reinforced the sense of community she created among her audience. Additionally, she wrote forewords for other culinary authors, such as Kathleen King's Tate's Bake Shop Cookbook and Rory Travato's Dishing with Style. By supporting fellow chefs, Garten demonstrated her commitment to sharing her love for accessible, delicious meal preparation and helping others find similar success. Her generosity solidified her as a major figure in modern cooking. Garten's appeal was also evident in her recipes, like the lemon roast chicken with croutons from The Best American Recipes 2005 to 2006. This simple yet delicious dish was loved by both amateur and gourmet cooks alike. Another favorite of hers was featured in Today's Kitchen Cookbook, a collection of recipes from The Today Show. Her Thanksgiving recipes even appeared on Google's homepage in 2010, introducing her to a broader audience. By June 2012, Garten joined the digital world by launching a blog on Facebook where she shared cooking tips and personal experiences. The response was overwhelmingly positive, and her account gained over 100,000 followers in just 3 weeks. This growth illustrated her ability to connect with fans and food lovers alike through social media. In 2019, Garten collaborated with writer Cheryl Half to include her well-known potato latkes recipe in the children's picture book, Goodnight Boobala. This collaboration demonstrated Garten's commitment to passing on her passion for cooking to future generations, ensuring that her cherished recipes would be enjoyed by families for years to come. Now a culinary icon, Garten continues to inspire people in the food industry. In a 2023 interview with BBC News, Garten reflected on how her childhood shaped her decision not to have children. "It was not something I wanted to repeat," she said, adding that her desire for connection led her to pursue a career focused on bringing people together through food. She noted that her choices have often been influenced by her upbringing. Her husband, Jeffrey Garten, also has a distinguished career in both government and academia. From 1993 to 1995, he served as Under-Secretary of Commerce for International Trade under President Bill Clinton. Following his political career, Jeffrey became Dean of the Yale School of Management, a position he held from 1995 to 2005, where he played a pivotal role in shaping the field of management education. Outside of his professional life, Jeffrey regularly appears on Barefoot Contessa, offering tips and enjoying the dishes Ina prepares. Their on-screen chemistry, marked by playful banter and a shared love for food, has endeared them to fans. The Gartens frequently travel between their homes in Manhattan, East Hampton, and Paris, demonstrating their appreciation for food, art, and culture. Jeffrey, a registered Democrat, has supported various political candidates, including George H.W. Bush, Bill Clinton, John Kerry, and Barack Obama, though Ina has largely stayed away from political discussions. In a 2024 interview, Jeffrey noted that he doesn't believe he can change people's minds about politics. Apart from her culinary endeavors, Ina served on East Hampton's Design Review Board, where she reviewed architectural designs to help preserve the village's historic charm. She is currently working on a memoir titled, Be Ready. In October 2024, the anticipated release of When the Luck Happens will reveal how Ina Garten navigated the profound challenges she faced and worked through them courageously. Reflecting on her childhood, Garten described it as one shaped by strict parenting, especially by her father, who demanded obedience and maintained an authoritative style. Unlike today's supportive parenting approaches, her father believed parenting wasn't about being liked, a philosophy that clashed with Ina's growing desire for independence. She often feared him, recalling times when she felt physically threatened, causing her to retreat to the safety of her bedroom. Her mother, although well-intentioned, struggled to form close connections and kept Ina out of the kitchen, likely to maintain control over her own space. As a result, Garten characterized her childhood as lonely, a solitude she imposed on herself. Although she eventually reconciled with her father after he offered an indirect apology, her mother never acknowledged any fault. Looking back, Ina admitted she lacked the courage to stand up for herself and feared repeating her parents' patterns. Determined to live differently, she found a new path after meeting Jeffrey, whose unwavering support and kindness showed her a life free from constant criticism. Jeffrey's positivity and encouragement helped Ina pursue her passions, even while they lived apart during his time abroad. Their mutual support became the cornerstone of their strong relationship. Choosing not to have children granted them the freedom to follow their dreams, with Jeffrey always prioritizing Ina's aspirations over his own. In one of her books, Garten revealed a previously untold experience of being briefly separated from her husband, Jeffrey, a story she hadn't shared before due to her cookbook-focused career. Reflecting on the 1970s, she recalled the challenge of evolving their relationship from traditional husband-wife roles into a more equal partnership. Early on, Jeffrey had expected Ina to manage the cooking while he handled finances, a dynamic she found frustrating. She emphasized that she needed to get his attention to address the imbalance, a move that ultimately benefited both of them. After her first summer working at the Barefoot Contessa store, Ina returned to Washington, while Jeffrey embarked on a 3-month international tour with the State Department. During this time apart, both experienced personal growth and self-reflection, reconsidering their roles and the independence they sought in their relationship. Though Jeffrey initially struggled with leaving on long trips as a spouse, they eventually restructured their connection into a partnership based on cooperation and mutual respect rather than traditional expectations. Garten described their relationship as harmonious, with Jeffrey always supporting her ambitions and bringing a cooperative attitude to resolving conflicts, making it nearly impossible to argue with him. Reflecting on a pivotal moment early in their marriage, Garten recalled how Jeffrey once urged her to figure out her path in life, pointing out that happiness wouldn't be possible without understanding her direction, a realization that shifted Ina's perspective. Until then, her primary focus had been on marriage, something she achieved by marrying an extraordinary man. Jeffrey encouraged her to seek something for herself, advice for which she remains deeply grateful, as it changed the course of her life. She fondly recounted a moment when she said, "I believe Jeffrey expects me to make chicken, but I plan to surprise him with pasticcio, a dish akin to Greek lasagna." Ina's unexpected rise to television stardom was, by her own admission, unimaginable. "I couldn't understand why anyone would want to watch me," she said, crediting a supportive individual named Eileen from the Food Network, whose belief in Ina's potential persuaded her to consider hosting a show. For over a year, Garten had declined, thinking Eileen misunderstood her reluctance, as Ina had no interest in being on television. However, after watching an Australian show recommended by a friend, Ina appreciated the production style and realized she didn't need to emulate Nigella Lawson, she simply needed to be herself. One particularly challenging yet rewarding moment came when she received a letter from Jennifer Garner, who expressed her desire to be on the show. At first, Ina didn't realize it was the famous actress, but during a filming session in Los Angeles, she reached out to Garner and collaborated on a segment. Coincidentally, it was Jennifer's 40th birthday, and Ina was invited to her celebration, a casual, fun event with 40 women dressed in sweatpants and ponytails, creating a warm, relaxed atmosphere. Ina later enjoyed having Jennifer on her show, admiring Garner's humor and playful nods to Barefoot Contessa in her own cooking videos. From her humble beginnings to becoming a celebrated chef, Ina Garten's story illustrates that hard work and passion can lead to tremendous success.